I've never felt more challenged, more broken, more sad, more burnt out, more stretched thin. The amount of times that I just cried in therapy talking about things, like it was crazy. You were like, Hallie, it's time you go see somebody. Like you need to see a therapist. You're going to quit your job. And that was just the tipping point of my breakdown.
You can tell in a person when they start to lose that spark in them. And I saw Hallie lose a little bit of spark.
Your full-time job dictated your life outside of work.
I hate that. I do that.
Do you feel like that's something you couldn't help but obsess over and think about and constantly worry about?
You're told to just like push through it. Like, how bad can it be? You're making lots of money. Like, what are you doing? Like, why would you ever do something like that?
Well, so many people now are like, well, why'd you quit?
Even if I had $1 million, I would just worry.
Honestly, answer this question. Do you feel like you're in a state of burnout right now? We would just not post on social media when one of us was going through it. So yeah, our social media probably looked great and like we probably seemed like we were doing great and we were doing fine and dandy and everything was happy in the Patel household. Well, that was not always the case. And if I were to tell you that, that would just be lying to you. And I'm not here to lie to you. This week, we're opening up about why your mental health matters. We're going to be talking about the challenges that we've faced this year, why it's so important to take care of yourself, and what can happen if you don't. It's time to start prioritizing yourself. Let's get into it, Half Past Crew.
Welcome to
Half Past Job.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of Half Past Job. We're your hosts. My name is K2.
My name is Hallie.
And if you can't already tell, we're a married interracial couple. And that's what we talk about on this podcast. We talk about being an interracial couple. We talk about relationships in general. And we get questions from you because you guys go to www.halfpastchai.com where you submit your own questions and stories. We release new podcast episodes every single Monday. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like this video. If you're on Apple's podcast or Spotify, you have to give us 5 stars and then follow the podcast because then you get notified when we upload every Monday at 7 a.m. Thank you all very much for spending your Monday with us. Settle in, get cozy, and grab your cha.
Guys, we actually have tea in here this time. I wish I could show you.
I'm going to sip, okay? Oh my God.
Isn't it good?
Oh
Chai
my
Wali,
gosh.
thank you.
Chai
this
Wali.
is the masala chai.
Chai Wali is good. It's good.
It's very, very good.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay, we kind of got out of the habit. We used to have cha every time we would do a podcast and record. And then we would do it so late at night that we were like, well, 11 o'clock probably isn't the ideal time to have it because we are going to go to bed. Although I still fall asleep super quick, so it doesn't really matter. But now, since we're doing it early, I mean, it's still like 4 o'clock, but hey, 4 o'clock is the time people have cha at 4.
Half past chai. It's actually 4:30. Half past the hour.
Oh.
Half past cha.
Well, we're 4 past the hour. 6 past the hour, actually.
There we go.
Guys, happy Monday. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a lovely weekend and you're starting off strong into the new week. This is something it's kind of been weighing on me a lot more recently. Obviously, with some of the changes that you guys know about that have happened in the last year of our lives, mental health has not been our top priority. We've not done the best job of taking care of ourselves. And I felt like this was really relevant for this time in our lives. I mean, it's always a relevant conversation. However, I think because we've been struggling with it so much and there's so much that I want to talk about and share, and same to you, that I think this is a really good episode. And I think a lot of people can benefit from this. If you remember, it would have been probably 2 years ago when I did me going through my quarter life crisis. I feel like it's persisted, but it all led to this of switching careers, of making some other hard changes, of figuring out we want to do this together. And that all kind of led to this. And so if you haven't watched that was a long time ago. I honestly don't even remember. I
can link the episode somewhere.
Yeah, I don't remember. But guys, okay, don't judge. It was like 2 years ago. We had our little mics. Okay, we were cute. I probably was not very good at articulating my thoughts back then. So don't judge. All right. I know you won't. But anyways, that was the last time that we really talked about a full deep dive into our mental health and everything that we are experiencing. And I think because in the last year and a half, we've endured a little bit more and been able to kind of come out through it on the other side, then I think there's a little bit more to share there and a little bit more depth that we have to cover. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely need to talk about my mental health. It's not the best. So this is our therapy session.
This is like a more, okay, so it's not couples therapy, it's individual therapy.
Yes.
And so I'm really hoping that if you are listening to this, whether or not you're going through something, that maybe you can take something away from this. Maybe this is comforting to you to know that you're not alone. Maybe you're reflecting back on a really hard time in your life and you're like, man, I'm amazing. I made it through that. I did the thing. You are amazing. Everybody who's listening to this is amazing. So I just want to remind you all of that. You are amazing. You are successful. You are loved. I'm getting angry. I'm getting passionate about it. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. Okay, we have a few ways we're going to break this down. So number one, let's talk about the past year in our lives. How was the last year for you personally?
So I think we got to the point where we made a decision that, hey, we are probably going to quit our jobs within a few months, maybe a year or two. And this is going back to around summertime last year. So in 2024, we actually met up with somebody who was in the creator space here where we are in Indiana. And we talked to him, be like, how are you doing this? Like, what are you doing to kind of get to the next level? And then we had that discussion. I was like, I feel like this is possible. I feel like we can do this. And we really went for we did everything in our ability to kind of go that direction. But that also affected us because we were doing 10 times more while having our full-time job, while doing everything in the whole world ever, and maintaining friendships, like hanging out with people and all these things. I think it really hurt us mentally just because we didn't know, we didn't have like an end date exactly what was going to happen. We were kind of confused on what we wanted with our lives. We knew like we wanted something in terms of we wanted to be able to do this podcast, but also our video production company full time. And we felt like it was too far away or it was impossible. And that really hurt our spirits, but also our mental health.
What are some of the challenges that you feel like you've individually faced in the last year or so, and how did they affect your mental health?
Good question. I would say whenever we made the decision to kind of do all of these things, I think for me, financial stress affects me a lot. And like, it makes me go crazy sometimes. Like I stay up at night thinking about, like what's going to happen with this when that happens, or how are we going to pay for that? Or even though like it's not like we would put ourselves in a good position to where we don't have to worry about that, but I just don't have the ability to turn it off. And I don't know why, but it's just like a mental thing that I don't know how. But that's the biggest struggle that I have, is making sure that we are financially secure.
Do you feel like that's something you couldn't help but obsess over and think about and constantly worry about?
Constant. Like it's just a constant worry. Like even if I had, like I always say this, even if I had $1 million, I would just worry. I think I'm just so comfortable with being worried all the time that's where I find my comfort is, I'm going to be worried about this.
So you would feel uncomfortable if you were satisfied, or like you look to be uncomfortable, or I guess I don't understand.
Maybe it's because that I can't be okay with being successful. Like once I find success, like I can't be okay with that. I have to go to the next thing.
You're constantly raising the bar.
Which is not always a bad thing, but it's also like I don't know how to celebrate myself. I don't know how to take a break. I don't know how to do those things.
Yeah. No.
And that can hurt me.
I agree. I think you are somebody maybe that has struggled with that a bit more than me. I feel like it's easier for me to step back and realize just how far we've come. But also I struggle with it too, because now I feel like it's go, go, go. And there's not really a second to fully appreciate everything that we do and what we've overcome. And that's important because you have to be able to look back and realize, oh my gosh, this was hard and I did it. And I need to celebrate that. Mm-hmm. Whereas we don't do that very often. And I feel like that is what leads fully to burnout.
Yeah.
And I don't know, honestly, answer this question. Do you feel like you're in a state of burnout right now?
I'm not in a state of burnout right
Really?
now. Just because I feel like I was probably when we first like started doing all this full time, but I don't feel super burnt out just because we do have more time to get things done. For me, the way that I organize myself is I have folders on my desktop with the first project being the thing I need to get done first, or the first folder, the first thing I need to get done. And when those start to stack up, when it turns from one line to 2 lines of folders, that's when I'll be like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know how I'm going to get this done. And I start freaking out. But right now, that would happen when we had our full-time jobs where we just could not keep up. There would be so many projects, so many client things that we had to get to, and we just could not keep up. And now that we're able to get to these things and I can cross things off the list, I definitely don't feel burnt out right now.
Can you give an example of a time that you felt really burnt out and you had a specific project or task or something that you're like, oh my God, I just can't get this done?
Okay. Well, I started a new job recently in January. So in January, I started a new job. I was getting used to things and I had a project come up. It was so easy. I finished it really quickly. And then the second project, I didn't know how to do it.
What was it?
It was a project that had something to do with, this was at work. So it had something to do with creating some trends that the company needed to see. And I was like, oh my God, I have no clue how to even start this. And so I would like dream about how to fix this problem. Like I would dream about the solution, right? And because of that, I took a step back from a lot of the video stuff that we were doing. I remember I didn't post like anything for a while. And
isn't that crazy? Just hit the pause button on what you said. Your full-time job dictated your life outside of work because it was just too much. And that's all that it was all consuming all the time. And you weren't able to create because your creativity was being suppressed.
I think that's normal though. I think it's
that's
normal
crazy
to feel that way, especially in corporate jobs where you are, I mean, in corporate, you get like, there are some jobs that you get paid pretty well for, especially managers and stuff. Their whole identity becomes being a manager for that company, right? And it's, it can feel like that is the only thing. So I feel like that's pretty normal. Let me know if it's not normal.
Well, because you have so many responsibilities
Yeah.
that you have to focus on. So it's like, of course, that becomes a lot of your personality because that's majority of your day. I saw this stat one time, and I think I've said it on here before, but you spend more time with your coworkers than you do your spouse, which I guess in our case, we spend every second with each other.
Is my coworker, so we spend double time together.
We do.
But yeah, going back to that project, I was stressed there, and then I couldn't get things done that I needed to for our business. And then I took that stress out on you. I'd be like, Hallie, why aren't you doing this and this? As if you can do these things on top of the things that you already have going on. And that is when I know there's burnout involved. When I start to be like, okay, time to go find Hallie and blame her for everything. I hate that. I do that.
It's gotten a lot better, I would say. So just for a little context, I have quite a few things that I feel like I could cover, but I'm going to try my best to condense all of this. I'm just thinking in the last year. Okay. Last June, I will give a story. We were in New York City, and I swear when I had my corporate job, things would be so crazy and so chaotic the week before I go on vacation. Look, I mean, you remember, it was horrible. Like every single big project I was on demanded all of my attention and all of my time at work, like every single second, and some after work, then some. And that was really hard on me because naturally you're trying to grind and get a bunch of stuff done for vacation. But okay, now I have our side business and I have this content I want to create because we're going on vacation, and like I can't think of anything, and I'm not able to post anything because I'm not able to have fun right now, and I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed. So we went to New York last June. It was around like the middle of June, middle towards the end. And so I was already so overwhelmed going into this trip. Like I remember just, oh my God, that was probably at the peak. A peak. I don't know. I had many peaks of strong anxiety during the time.
How was that a year ago?
That was a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Do you remember what happened? We had the trip. I was really on edge the entire time. I was having fun, but I wasn't fully having fun. And it was because I was stretched way too thin. And things had gotten to a point with our business and with my job that, again, with the high stakes and the pressure that was being put on me at work to get things done, and things like everything would be slow and then it was needed really, 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 really fast. And I had to get so much stuff done. And then on top of that, doing content and trying to record a podcast every week when I was just so mentally done. And not that I've ever not wanted to record this podcast, but I didn't feel like I had anything left in me to record the podcast. And I know you've also felt like that at some points as well. And it was the day that we were leaving, and I just remember waking up feeling this crazy amount of dread. And I was sad, I was upset. I wasn't really showing it. I was just like kind of tired, and just trying to get through packing our stuff up and whatever. I remember we get to the airport and we go in the Delta Sky Club because you had been traveling at that time. So we still had like all your points and access to get into the Sky Club. So you had gotten your food. You were sitting down. I went to go get my food, and they have glass plates in there, like all nice utensils, plates, whatever. And I think I was trying to reach something and I couldn't get it. So I reached a little bit further, and on the way back, like maybe I burned my hand and I reached back, and my glass plate, I knocked it on the floor and it shattered everywhere. And that was just the tipping point of my breakdown. I let it fell. Somebody came over and I was like, oh my God, like I'm already in tears. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like to the person who's cleaning it up. I'm like, God, like, I can't help because like I don't have anything to pick up glass with. And so I just run over to you and I start sobbing. And it was just the epitome of the pressure buildup. Like everything up to that point had built up to a breaking point. And that glass and me dropping that in front of like 30 people and it being so embarrassing, and me not wanting to go back home to, oh, I have work tomorrow and like I have to go back to a job that I hate and like I got to figure everything out now. And this was last June. And I just remember we sat down and I couldn't stop crying, and you were trying to help me, trying to help figure out like what was going on. And I remember that conversation, you were like, okay, Hallie, it's time you go see somebody. Like you need to see a therapist. Our work was offering free services at that time, or at all times. If I would have continued to work there, I would have continued to get free therapy, which is incredible. And so I was like, okay, this is the start of my therapy journey. I feel like I need this. And again, like I don't think there's any right or really wrong time to go to therapy. Like if that's something you're interested in or something that you feel like would benefit you, by all means go. I'm a huge advocate for therapy because of how it's helped me in the last year. And I would say that was such a huge part of me finally getting to a point where I could manage things. Like not that tons really changed, but in a weird way, it just gives you some sort of confidence. And so for the last year, I stopped about a month, whenever we stopped work, I was going to therapy like every other week or like a couple times a month. And just kind of talking to a third party. And she was so amazing and helpful, really helped me through some of my problems, truly. Because this goes with the last episode, I can't expect you to be my therapist, right? I need somebody who has lots of experience, who has dealt with a lot of situations and can kind of, obviously give me the unbiased opinions and question me and challenge me in ways that you just can't. And that's fair. But after that, things started to slowly get better. I was feeling a little bit more confident and starting to find my footing. And it was then that day, actually, that you were like, okay, Hallie, you're going to quit your job. And this time next year, you will not have a job. And I was like, whoa, okay, I'm not going to have a job. I'm going to quit my job. That's the source of all my stress. I mean, I'm doing one thing I love and one thing I hate, so it doesn't make sense to continue to do both things and one thing that I hate. And so what did you think after that point? Did you think in your mind, you had told me, Hallie, you're not going to have a job next year.
Yeah.
And that was really the first time we talked about it. And so I want to know, in your head at that time, did you think you were going to quit too, or just me?
Definitely. I never thought I would ever quit because Like eventually, maybe in the future, maybe 10 years from now or something crazy, right? But never in a million years did I think I would quit too. But I had to, like, you were just going through it, right? Like, I could see the amount of stress that you were going through. Just, you can tell in a person when they start to lose that spark in them. And I saw Hallie lose a little bit of spark, just like day to day. Every Sunday, she'd get the Sunday scaries. You guys know about the Sunday scaries. I think that is why we have this podcast to upload on a Monday, is because we hated Mondays and we wanted something where we could look forward to it. Like, we wanted something that other people could look forward to a Monday. Like, why do people hate Monday so much? Because you're going back to work, going back to that matrix of a place where you don't know if you truly love what you're doing. You don't know why you're doing it, all of these things. And that's why this upload always happens on a Monday. And when I saw Hallie kind of go through a lot of the downsides of what she was experiencing, the environment she was in, and how that was affecting her and what she loved doing, that's when I kind of was like, okay, we'll be fine. Like, I'll support. We'll be okay. We don't need you to be working right now if you aren't happy with what you're doing, right? We'll figure it out, whatever. And I said, give me a year, because if we took a year to just go ahead and put everything, because what we do usually is put everything towards investing. So we didn't have a ton of money just saved up on the side. And so what we did was spend that year just saving money on the side, where we could be we could use that to fund the money that Hallie would have made. And once we did that, I felt pretty confident that Hallie could quit. Now, why did I don't know. I thought that
might as well be both of us, baby.
Might as well go all in at this point. It's just, it didn't make sense for me to also be at the job that I wasn't fully happy with. I was actually very happy with the job I had when I told Hallie to quit her job. I loved what I did. It was fantastic. It was fun. It was interesting. It was different every day. But then I switched jobs, and then I started to become a little bit more mundane. So that's why I decided to also quit. But yeah, it was exciting. When you have a change in life, you also have a change in your mindset. You have a new spark in your brain that it's not the solution to all your problems, but it could be a solution to some of your problems. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think again, like you had just mentioned, you were having constant changes. I was not.
Yeah.
It was just more of the same hard thing over and over again. And I just want to talk about for a second too, is that we, in this podcast and on our platform, we are not the kind of people who are fake. We are very, arguably too authentic and too real. And so you would never see, like, we would just not post on social media when one of us was going through it. So yeah, our social media probably looked great, and like we probably seemed like we were doing great and we were doing fine and dandy and everything was happy in the Patel household. Well, that was not always the case. And if I were to tell you that, that would just be lying to you. And I'm not here to lie to you. Again, although we're incredibly authentic, even on days where like we just didn't feel like recording, we wouldn't record an episode that day. We would wait till the next day or the next or whenever felt right, because I wasn't going to just half-ass it and give not a good version of myself, because that's what this platform is for us to give the best version of ourselves to you guys. And I refuse to do it when I'm not feeling my best or I'm not feeling myself. And so again, with that in mind, I feel like you were really the only person that I let know about. You saw everything. I saw everything for you. We don't really talk about it to people. You know what I mean? I don't ever expect anyone to fully understand what somebody else or me or whoever is going through. And so it would just be really hard when, I don't know, I don't love talking about this either. I don't love talking about it to people like, oh yeah, the last year was really hard for me. Like, I can say that, but I don't even know how to start. Like, how do I start? Where do I start? I've never felt more challenged, more broken, more sad, more burnt out, more stretched thin. The amount of times that I just cried in therapy talking about things, like, it was crazy. And I can say that obviously now that I am starting to work through all of it. I mean, I have been for a while, but I mean, it's been really hard. And I think it is because they always say as soon as you're on the verge of something big, life goes downhill completely. That's what it feels like, is that it's so hard, it's so chaotic, it's so messy, and you don't know how to find the way through. It's never a straight line, it's a curved path, and there are so many ups and downs. Especially this felt like, I mean, this is the biggest change in my life, and it's been the hardest adjustment and change ever. I mean, the amount of times that we would get in stupid arguments and like not even know why, and it wasn't even anything serious. Or one of us would just be tired and just start crying because we're like, oh my God, like we're getting imposter syndrome, or like we're stressed out and like I don't feel like I can keep up and this is too much and I don't feel like recording a podcast right now, and oh, we need to take photos and do this, or we have to make this video for a brand, but we just got in an argument and now I'm crying and I don't feel like I can do this. And the amount of times that happened, or like we would worry ourselves sick, or like, oh my God, it's
the whole purpose of us kind of taking this step, that was to prioritize our mental health, just because I think a lot of times you're told to just like push through it. Like, how bad can it be? You're making lots of money. Like, what are you doing? Like, why would you ever do something like that?
Well,
I think
so many people now are like, well, why'd you quit? Like, they can't grasp that we're like, we were so unhappy. I don't know how to tell you any other way.
I think a lot of times people see like a good job and being like, hey, you should be happy that you even have a job, which is true. We were happy that we had a job, but you got to also put yourself first sometimes when you're not fully engaged in what you're doing. It's not work. I mean, your life's too short to just live as is and just deal with it. Like that to me is insane.
And to wonder what if.
Yeah.
We didn't ever want to have that question in the back of our minds, like, oh, what if we did this?
Yeah.
When one day when we're in our 50s, oh, I wish we would have done that in our 20s. I don't want that. I don't want to have any kind of regret.
Well, before we move on to the rest of this episode, I want Hallie to explain some of the stuff she's working on in terms of Therapists Beyond Borders. She's supporting this really great organization, and she wanted to really talk about it and explain what they're doing and how they're doing it. So we don't have a sponsor for this episode, but we have Therapists Beyond Borders, and we're trying to support them as much as possible.
Exactly. Suketu, thank you for bringing this up. Everyone deserves a healthy body and a healthy mind, and I am a firm believer that everybody deserves access to healthcare. So with that being said, I really want to highlight Therapists Beyond Borders and other organizations like them, but specifically in my case, Therapists Beyond Borders, because guys, I'm running the New York City Marathon, and I'm somebody who really believes in their mission and their cause to bring help to people around the world who don't have access to it, and they should have access to it. And they're doing amazing work globally, bringing that to people. I think it's very important to share these and normalize the conversation, because we don't talk about it enough, frankly. And yes, it's 2025. People are talking about it more, but Therapists Beyond Borders, they have speech therapists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, all around the world, and they're making a real change for people in disabled communities who don't always get access to that, and there's a negative stigma around it, and they need the most help and they're not getting it. So really want to take this time to highlight them for that reason. They're doing such amazing things, and they can use all the money in the world, honestly, for such an amazing cause. So please be sure to donate to my fund. Even $1 helps, truly. Your money is going to an amazing organization who I love and have met with and really resonate with everything that they do. By normalizing the conversation and talking about it so openly, which I'm so happy to do on this platform, it reduces the stigma, right? Like, the more we talk openly about therapy and mental health resources, the more normalized it will become. And specifically, organizations like Therapists Beyond Borders remind us that mental health struggles are universal, and there are so many people facing issues all across the world. And access to care is a worldwide issue, guys, not just a local one. So please be sure to click the link in the description. Your money is going to a really amazing cause and sharing these resources. So feel free to share as well, please, for anyone else who is willing to donate. Lets everyone know that they are not alone and that they deserve a healthy body and a healthy mind. So click the link in the description.
Now that you know some of our problems and how we kind of put our mental health first, I really want to go into what happens if you don't. The dangers of not actually acknowledging it. I feel like a lot of, I don't know, baby boomers don't acknowledge mental health
Boomers.
exists. And it's a lot of just like, you gotta work hard and
Deal with it.
deal with it.
Rub some dirt on it.
Back in my day,
Oh, God. There we go.
I walked 7 miles.
Yeah.
Just 7 miles.
Just cuz.
Just guys.
Just cuz.
But I really do think, and Hallie's going to be running 26 miles for literally no reason. I'm just kidding.
Okay, no. What? You can't fathom doing a marathon. That's why.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
But I'm crazy and I have problems, and running is how I deal with my problems.
That's a really good point, though. Like, if you don't deal with them, if you don't deal with your problems, they will come back to bite you in your butt. All right. Hallie deals with a lot of her problems by running, exercising. That helps so much. That helps a ton of people be able to go past a lot of the hardships that they're facing or dealing with.
And I will say yes, but I was just talking to my friend about this. I was talking to Katie about this. And we were like, running is great, but if you don't address your problems and you just go on a run and expect them to go away, they won't go away. So you still have to work on them. But running just helps relieve the stress behind it all, I think is what I'm trying to say. I've become a lot more calm and zen of a person since I've just peacefully gone on runs, really kind of taken some time to think and read. Oh my gosh, reading a fiction book literally is such a good... Stop reading self-help books, everybody. Read fiction books.
And the crazy thing is, I actually stopped running for this last month, and it has affected me. Like, I feel like I need to run. Like, in the back of my head, I feel like, oh my God, if I just ran right now, I would be so much more, like, I'd just be better. I'll be less stressed. I'll be whatever. But now it's forced me to deal with my problems. It's kind of crazy.
How do we feel about that?
Like it. It feels good to be able to like actually stop for a second rather than taking a run and just be like, oh, I feel much better now. But then I just left all the problems behind, right? I don't know. This is just things in my head that I'm trying to figure out. And the way that now I'm dealing with it rather than just running is I've been writing a lot, not just like writing in terms of like journaling. I'm still trying to figure all of that out. Electronic journaling, not physically writing. I love to physically write my daily tasks and everything, but electronically journaling, just like, because I have a lot of thoughts and I don't think my hand could keep up with how many thoughts I have. And so that's one way that I'm dealing with it, but also having alone time. I'm sorry, Hallie.
No, you need it.
But
no apologies needed.
I truly love having a little bit of alone time to be able to just like think for a little bit. And I don't know, it's nice to be able to have a second to yourself where I think my alone time was running before. And so this is kind of like replaced that in a way. So I don't know if I'm still dealing with everything the right way, but hey, it's working for me. I'm super happy. I'm living my best life. I'm just having a good time. I'm going day by day, which before I feel like I was just, in a routine where it was the same thing every single day. And I would know what's going to happen a month from now. I would know what's going to happen a year from now. Whereas now I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen next week. And it's cool. It's kind of a cool feeling. I don't know. It's not for everybody for sure. But for me, I think because we addressed the whole mental health issue that we were going through, it's worked out in our favor. And I think you have to try different things to be able to make it to the other side. Because if you don't try something, you'll end up on the what happens if you don't side.
Yeah. And personally, I just couldn't take what we were doing anymore. Something had to change. And it became more and more evident every single day. And I'm so thankful that we're in a position that we were able to make that change.
Bruh, Hallie literally changed colors. Like, she was starting to become pale, like really, really pale because of how depressed she was getting.
And the mono, guys. I just want to point out that my job and the stress and the burnout and the being stretched too thin has caused me to reactivate my mono 2 times in 2 years. That's really hard on a person. So that led to me obviously having mono, being exhausted all the time and like honestly feeling like a zombie. Like I was just dragging myself through the day. I could not make myself get out of bed for the life of me, I actually just now, like in the last week, want to get out of bed because I have stuff to look forward to and I'm not as exhausted. I'm finally starting to heal, which has been like, I literally could cry about how happy I am. Like, it's been so amazing that I'm finally feeling better and I'm not down on myself anymore. And I feel like I'm looking back, just to give you guys a visual, looking back at the times when I felt so burnt out and exhausted. It felt so gloomy and dark. And now it just feels like it's sunny and bright ahead of me.
Sunshine.
You know?
Yeah, I love that feeling.
I mean, that's just an analogy for, I don't know, just I felt like I was entering darkness every single day. And now I feel like I've kind of left it and I'm just headed towards sun. And it just, I don't know, it feels happy. It feels different.
Well,
it feels great.
Don't walk too close to the light.
I was like, wait, what?
You don't walk into the light, Hallie.
No, I won't.
We don't want that. But yeah, I agree. I think it's awesome that you're feeling that way. And I honestly, like, I was not in the same situation as Hallie, like, at all at work. Like, I could have done my job for the rest of my life and been okay with it. It's just, to me, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to, like, not go all in with
But
my
it
wife.
did. You didn't want to do it. Remember?
I didn't. Okay. But I wasn't as, my situation wasn't as bad as yours. Like, yours was like, you physically couldn't, it made you sick to go to work. Whereas like me, it was like, oh yeah, we're going to work today.
Oh my God. Like, I literally had I had a racing heart rate every day at work. I felt nauseous. I felt like I was going to be sick because I also was hiding. Like, I knew I was going to quit. So I was hiding that. So I felt guilty, even though like I shouldn't feel guilty. It's my own life. And like, I definitely, for whatever reason, I was ultra sensitive when I was in that job. I don't know why. Because and the thing is like, obviously I had to leave coworkers and friends that I love and I care about them. We still talk, but it's different because you won't see them every day. And they were the only things that kept me sane at work, because we would go laugh and have a good time every time we talked to each other. And just knowing that they were there was comforting to me. But like, ultimately can't make me love my job. You know, like, people are so much of it, but if you don't like your job, then you're cooked.
So what are ways that people can better themselves and handle the situation, take care of yourself?
Oof. One of the biggest things for me, not even exercise, but just being outside, just absorbing some sunlight.
What if they live in London?
I mean, like, you can still get outside. I guess you don't have to have sun. Just get outside. I'm a very nature-centric person, so just sitting outside, even if it's raining, the smell of rain smells good. Like, I just love being outside regardless. So winter is terrible for me. I love being outside and not being, like, in a parka or like a big old coat and scarf and hat and earmuffs.
I bring up London because we have a ton of UK followers, and I just want to know, is it actually always gloomy? Please comment, let me know. Is it gloomy in London all the time?
I actually like the gloom, I'm not gonna lie. It can't be like 2 degrees outside though, but
Hallie's
like,
brain went all sunny, and so now she wants the gloom because that's what she was used to.
no, I like the clouds outside.
That's what it is.
I just don't like the sun and stepping out. I get sunburned really easily, guys. 2, I walk out, I hate sweating. I don't want to walk out and start sweating. So when it's cloudy, oh, perfect.
For me, the best thing I could do is focus on my hobby. My hobby is now my job, which is awesome. That's great.
Woo woo.
I love making videos. I focus on, whenever I like get stressed, I'll go edit. And that like relieves all my stress because I'm editing. And I don't know, when I edit, it's like my whole body shuts down. It's just all I'm doing is editing. And I think you have to find something like that. A lot of people love golf. A lot of people love basketball. A lot of people like to sew. Find what you want to do. If it's reading a book or whatever it is, if you can figure out what your favorite hobby is that just relieves all your stress, oh my gosh, you could be set for the rest of your life.
That's true. That's true, because then you can seek comfort in that thing. Some people love knitting. Again, I love reading. I love exercise. I love just being outside, spending time with people, and remembering that you're not alone is also a huge thing. Remember, please don't isolate yourself. We're all too good at doing that. We've gotten a lot better, though. Actually, now we feel like we're in a place where we can talk to people and have fun and go do things, which is awesome. That's been a huge thing for us, too. Making time, call your friends, call people that bring you joy. Just like even a 5-10 minute catch up or sending voice memos to people like that. It's kind of crazy how much joy that brings me. Or spending time by myself, going to a park to read or just walk around or go on a drive or do something. I challenge you to do something every single day that makes you happy and brings you joy, whether or not you're in a rut. And just think about when you're doing these things and after you do them, how much more it brings you up and lifts you up than it did before.
I'm going to challenge you to do something else, which is find a friend that truly cares. I have always struggled with like being a friend that truly cares. I'm just going to be honest. Like I'm always the guy who's like working all the time. It's like hard for me to focus on that, but I've been recently trying to change that. And I've been finding friends who care a lot about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, asking me questions, calling me at random times. I appreciate so much. If you're a friend listening to it, I appreciate so much when you just randomly call me. I'd much rather do that than text every day. Like that, just a random call every week, every month, that is like all the way top tier, best thing you can do, just because it gives you time to talk about any feelings you're having, anything that you're running into, gets another perspective in your brain. I don't know. I just think it's a good challenge to put in perspective. If you have friends that are calling you, fantastic. But if you don't have a friend that is caring about what you're doing on a weekly, monthly basis, I think you should go find a friend that can do that for you. Or you be that friend. You go call somebody every single week and see how somebody's doing every other day or every single month, just to make sure that they're doing okay, that you can kind of give your update on something. It's a good thing to do. I think it really helps you and you get to help somebody else. They might hate you, so don't do it to somebody who hates you, but
well, yeah,
at least try it out. I think it's something that you should definitely try out because I love it.
Yeah. I think it's really great, especially if you're somebody who's really busy or like even if you're on your way home from something, like if you're driving home from work, like you have one friend specifically that will call you on his way home from work. And I love that. I think that's amazing. And you light up every time he calls you.
I'm like, oh my God, look, he's calling.
Yeah, I gotta go. Hallie, I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, have fun.
Yeah, it's great. I think you overall, like this whole episode about being like cognizant about your mental health is so important, because if you don't, you'll end up in a situation where you are in a couple and you both quit your jobs, and that could be dangerous.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Wait, what? Yeah. Is that us?
Isn't that what we did?
Yeah.
Dang.
That's why friends are so important. Friends, family, like what you said about your friends. I have friends. I feel like we truly have the best friends in our lives. And I don't know how we got so lucky to have these friends in our lives. Like we are truly blessed by their presence. They're just lovely and amazing. And they will call us at random times, or they'll send us voice memos, or just be like, hi, I was just thinking about you guys. How are you doing? And like, we just check in with all the time. Obviously being adults, you don't have much time, but I appreciate the time that they do make and that we do make, because okay, I know they're busy, but they're still making time to check on us, which is just the best thing ever.
Love you all.
We love you guys.
This has been such a great episode.
I know. It was really good.
Truly think we need to do these more often, just to like check in. And I want you guys to kind of give some questions. So this is episode 119. I can't believe we've gotten to this level, like 119 episodes since we have started Half Past Shy. That is crazy. We're on season 3. 119. That's insane.
That's crazy,
so
guys.
Next episode is actually questions of the week episode. So make sure you go to www.halfpastshy.com. Submit your questions. I want to hear a lot of different varieties. I'm going to give you some examples. I want to hear about questions you have about what would happen if you went to your dream. What is your passion? Like I want to know. That's a question that I have for you. What is a passion that you have that you want to pursue, but you don't know how? That's a question I want you to give me. I want you to also give any other relationship-based questions that you might have. If you're in a specific situation, we want to help you. There are so many in the queue, guys. I'm so excited to cover every single one of them. And yeah, that's it. Hallie, do you have anything else?
I do. So at the time that episode comes out, it's our anniversary week.
OMG. It's going to be our anniversary. If you have an anniversary coming up, let us know, okay? DM us or do anything. We'll shout you out as well. We want to celebrate all anniversaries during episode 120.
Our 4-year wedding anniversary.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. So if you guys have any anniversaries, be sure to let us know next week. We're so excited to hear from you guys. We love you.
And like Hallie said, you can click the link in the description below to be able to donate to the fundraiser Therapists Beyond Borders. It helps so much, not just Hallie, but helps the entire world with therapists and people that actually need these kinds of resources. So Half Past Crew, thank you so much for spending your time with us. And guess what? We'll see you next Monday at Half Past Job.
This was such good tea, by the way.
That was too good. Too good.
Too good of a tea? Really?
I needed more cha, Hallie. I had a little bit of cha.
I made a cup.
I need more.
But it's late. Now it's half past
more.
cha. Now it's half past.
It's half past cha.
So that's why I only made a little bit, because we all know how your stomach gets with milk, sweetheart.
What is that supposed to mean?
You know what it means.